Good morning and welcome to our Sunday service. Happy everyone is here today. I am the Reverend Gregory, as we say, Gregory P. Kent, your pastor. On behalf of our associate pastor, Judy, the Reverend Judy A. Cooper, and our trustees, welcome to our service. Are there any first-time visitors? Your turn, young man. All right. We're going to pass out a little welcome gift to all the first-time visitors. Just keep your hand up. Anybody else? Or if you've been here and it's been a while, you'd like another one, just raise your hand. We don't mind. All right, thank you, sir. We want to welcome everyone here, especially those who are now watching us live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. So happy to have you here and for you to be part of the service. If you do have your cell phone with you, please put it on silent mode or vibrate so it doesn't ring during the service. And we're going to ask Aidan Radcliffe to come up and light the 3 candles, symbolizing the unity of mind, body, and spirit. Thank you, sir. Please rise if you're able for the invocation. Infinite Spirit of love and wisdom, fill this entire universe with greatness. Reveal to us avenues through which we can better seek the truth, through which we may be enabled to gain in knowledge and strength to overcome any weakness, and through which we may obtain happiness and come close in rapport with the spirit world. We send blessings to all of you who have joined us today. Grant us the courage and wisdom to do our duty at all times, to endure with patience the trial that beset our path, and to aid others wisely and effectively. Impress us to have charity and compassion for those who are in need, and to give us strength. Amen. Amen. Please be seated. Located in your bulletin are our Declaration of Principles. Please join me in reciting them together. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make their own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. To prepare for our healing portion of the service, please recite the healing prayer, the prayer for spiritual healing with me, which is also in your bulletin. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the in the love and the power of God. At this time, we're going to have a guided meditation, so please find a comfortable position to be in. Let's take some deep breaths. Just relax. Let's inhale and exhale as we go through this healing meditation. In your mind's eye, if healing had a color, what would that color be? The healing color is personal to each and every one of us. So visualize that color, whatever color it is, and know that is your personal healing color. Take some more deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Keeping that visualization, that color surrounding you, engulfing you, going to those places in your body, in your mind that need healing at this time. Continue to breathe, inhaling the color, exhaling those energies you no longer need in your life. We're all spiritual individuals. We're all healers. Let the healing color go to the areas that need it the most. We are all loved. Bring in the love energy, whatever color that is for you. And direct that love energy to the heart chakra, allowing it to come in and heal if it needs to be healed. The saying is, the door to the heart can only be opened from within. Let's not have hearts that are locked and the keys thrown away. Let's continue to work on opening up our door to the heart chakra. If you know someone who needs absentee healing, visualize who they are and send them that color of healing. If you know someone who needs a little extra love in their lives, visualize them and send them the color of love. Ask your spirit, guide, loved ones to come in and be near you. Ask them to sit with you, share with you the knowledge they know. We might not be able to visualize them. We might better hear them, feel them. Just allow it to happen, knowing spirit energy is always with you, always guiding you, always healing you, and always loving you unconditionally. A lot of us are going through some rough times right now. When you exhale, visualize whatever that may be leaving your body, leaving your presence, leaving your energy. Let it go. There are times it's associated with someone else. You might have to cut that energy and move on. That's okay. You have to be who you are. They have to be who they are. Send them love. Send them light. Send yourself love. Send yourself light. Every now and then, pause during the day whatever you're doing, and visualize that healing light around you and those around you. They don't have to know you're sending them healing. Allow it to move from person to person. Allow the healing love energy to surround you and those around you. Again, they don't have to know you're sending them that energy. They will be receptive in their own way. We are going to come back to the here and now, to the A.J. Davis building, knowing you can go back to your healing meditation, your love meditation at any time. Thank the Spirit energy for being with you, knowing they'll be with you at all times to guide you. All you have to do is ask. Put it into the etheric, what you need, what you're looking for. Then allow it to happen. Doesn't always happen on our own time, but it does happen. So when you're ready, let me know you're ready and let me know you're back by your eyes open and the smiles on your face. Knowing the healing's taken place. Everyone back. Everyone back. Excellent. I'd like to introduce our lecturer today, Lori Carter. Lori Carter is a certified medium and teacher here at Cassadaga Spirituals Camp. She's a freelance writer, writing for more than 20 years, first with the Lake edition of the Orlando Sentinel, and currently for Hometown News in Volusia County. She has written and self-published a novella called The List, a compilation of short stories called It Happens, and co-authored 2 worlds, all available in our bookstore. You can find her at FromTheEthers.com, where she posts a weekly blog, and her YouTube channel, From the Ethers. Please welcome Lori Carter.
Thank you, everyone. Here we go. And so I am somewhat of an inspirational writer, and I'm just going to go for it. My topic today is out of this world. Come on, let's go. We can go anywhere you want to, take a flight to anywhere, anytime, and it's free. I'm talking about astral travel. It's an adventure. The question is, are you ready to fly? So what is astral travel? Astral travel is the act of separating the astral body, spirit, or consciousness from the physical body while in meditation or sleep state and its journey into the universe. Some say that astral travel does not exist, that people simply have deja vu moments. Some say it's your guides showing you what will happen in the future. My personal belief is it is astral travel. Did you know that we all do it every single night when we go to sleep? Our astral body leaves, perhaps goes home, and then returns at some point before we awaken. I've always been told of an etheric cord that attaches the astral body and the physical body. And in my travels for years, I never saw it. Until one time, during a lucid dream, being awake in your dream, I asked to see it, and sure enough, there it was. There's also out-of-body experiences. I have seen myself standing out of my body. I have been to many places before I physically arrive, including teacher's home and even a vacation my daughter and I took many years ago. I saw Camp Chesterfield and the beautiful spirit paintings in the museum before we got there. I saw the second room we were at in Lilydale. And before we pulled into Salem, I had a real bad feeling about that place. And at first I thought it was just maybe the vibes of the town, and maybe it still was. But then, later, it was because my daughter and I had a bit of a tiff there. I mean, come on, we were in the same car for 3 weeks. The bridge over Chesapeake Bay, have been there at least 2 or 3 different times. And so now you're probably wondering, why would I want to astral travel? There's several reasons. First and foremost, so you can realize that you are more than your physical body. We are more than our physical body. So you can learn more about yourself and bring knowledge back to use on the earth plane. So you can raise your consciousness. And finally, so you can diminish your fear of death. Death is a pretty curious subject. A friend of mine who lost her daughter at 15 in a car accident told me about the book The Blue Island, communicated by W.T. Steed. It's a book that tells you what happens when we leave. My friend told me that she was so distraught, and who wouldn't be, that her daughter finally came to visit her and told her about the book and shared that this is what happens when we leave the earth plane. Now, before her daughter, she's 15 years old, before her daughter passed, she never believed in any of this. So I think it's pretty remarkable. So anyway, according to the book, when we leave the plane of existence, we eventually to go to an island, which is blue and has many buildings. Each of the buildings is a place to learn about a particular subject. It could be anything: philosophy, religion, baseball, cooking, martial arts, and the list goes on. It's whatever you want it to be. Now that I'm thinking about it, I bet we could all travel there tonight if we wanted to. Maybe we already have. Some remember their astral travels and some don't. Another great book about the afterlife is The Afterlife of Billy Fingers. Love that book. It's more of a contemporary look at it. So in spiritualism, in regards to the afterlife, I'm going to look at Emanuel Swedenborg, 1688 to 1772, who inspired Andrew Jackson Davis. This hall is named after him. In the book, The Great Harmonia, to say that Summerland is the highest of the afterlife we can hope to enter. Summerland is said to be a place of rest for souls after or between earthly carnations. Some spirits will stay in Summerland for an eternal afterlife, and some believe that after a period of time, some spirits will reincarnate. Now, every single religion has an afterlife. Always has, always will. So there's many teachings on the astral plane, which is where we go when we have our out-of-body experiences. And they occur in meditation and sleeping state or dream time. We are connected to the collective consciousness and its history. I love that. I inspirationally got that somewhere. And so one of my big astral travel experiences took place like 10 or 12 years ago. And some of you have heard this story already. Please be patient. But so in a dream, I saw this orange vehicle. And I was looking inside the vehicle like this. And the vehicle was moving. So I had to be flying. And I'm looking inside and I see 2 people in the front and 2 people in the back. And I know that one of the persons in the back was dead because his arm was back like this, like you see in TV or in the movies. Remember Weekend at Bernie's? The car finally parked next to a lone house in an expansive field, and that dream continued for several nights. A week or so later, I was waiting in line for yoga, and I struck up a conversation with this woman. She told me that they had finally found who had killed her son 20 years ago in South Florida. So, hey, I'm a reporter. I'm like, wow. I announced who I am. I said this would be a great story told. So we decided we would get together right after the yoga class to exchange numbers. During Savasana, I saw an orange car go by. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I couldn't wait to get with her. I said, was there an orange car involved? And she said no, she thought it was red. And so I'm like, okay, well, I still want to tell your story. and we exchanged phone numbers. By the time I got home, like 15 minutes later, there was a message on my phone. She wanted to know how I knew it was the orange car. And trust me, now I'm contemplating this. I'm a mainstream reporter, you know. Am I going to come out and tell her? Finally, I decided to. So I called her up and told her about my dreams. She confirmed that at one point, the four were in the car, including her dead son, and the whole time the car was sitting next to the house in a large field. And that was 20 years later, that car was still there. In addition, the bones of her son were unearthed in the large field when Walmart decided to build. And I have to say, I got to meet with them, do the interview. I actually had the police officer from South Florida who came up for the interview, who, closed the case. And it was just a remarkable healing time for these people. And so that was so many years ago. And I have done so much more with astral travel, and so can y'all. So where do we go when we astral travel? Why, planes and dimensions, of course. A plane is conceived as a subtle state of consciousness that transcends the known physical universe. Some believe that there are 3 planes of existence, the lower, the middle, and the higher. And I am going to take a look at the ocean. The lower plane, which would be the bottom of the ocean, is dense and dark, and those who are there are fine with it. They're in the dark and are comfortable being there. At the middle level, you can see the light sometimes, and you can see the dark sometimes. The water is still murky. You have a ways to go. At the top level, your eyes in the light. You can see the higher level of existence and try to strive forward to illumine truth. Some in the upper level are like flying fish. They fly out, see the light, feel the freedom of an open space. I gotta wonder if that could be astral travel for those fish. And so some believe this area right here is the astral plane. This whole room is the astral plane. And there are doorways that lead to various dimensions. I personally believe that the astral plane and dimensions overlap. There are many teachings on how many dimensions there are, and I'm going to go with 7 here for today. And I'm just going to give a little bit of each one. I'm hoping to actually pique your interest, so you'll go home and study it a little bit. And so the physical plane, or physical universe, refers to the visible reality of space and time, energy and matter. It's right here. The astral plane, also known as the emotional plane, is where consciousness goes after physical death. The mental plane, also known as the causal plane, is divided into 7 subplanes. Charles W. Leadbeater wrote, "In the mental world, one formulates a thought, and it is instantly transmitted to the mind of another without any expression in the form of words. Therefore, on that plane, language does not matter in the least." The Buddhic plane, it described as a realm of pure consciousness. The spiritual plane, George Winslow Plummer wrote that the spiritual plane is split into many subplanes, and that on these planes, live spiritual beings who are more advanced in development and status than ordinary man. It's a place to gain spiritual knowledge and experience. The divine plane. According to some teachings, all souls are born on the divine plane and then descend down through the lower planes. However, souls will work their way back to the divine plane. On the divine plane, souls can be open to conscious communication with the sphere of the divine known as the Absolute and receive knowledge about the nature of reality. And so here I'm going to share a little story. I believe this is where I was during this quote-unquote dream. And so here I am in my dream. I'm obviously awake, and I decide, I'm just going to shoot for the stars. I'm just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. The next thing I know, I am in outer space. And let me tell you, these stars are beautiful in that darkness. And so now I have larger orbs like this, very colorful, all different colors, probably thousands of them swirling about me. And I could actually see my hair going. And yeah. And so next thing I know, all these orbs come into a man's face, I'm saying this big. And he starts talking to me. Of course, I'm not going to share what I was told during this, but it's quite remarkable. Yeah, I just loved it. So the Logoic Plane is the highest plane. It has been described as a plane of total oneness, the I Am Presence. Some describe the plane as complete unity with God. Some teach that the divine plane is where Jesus dwelt in Christ consciousness. In the religion of spiritualism, the absolute is known as infinite intelligence. In the principles of spiritualism, as you know, we just read, we believe in infinite intelligence. As for astral travel, practice, practice, practice. I'm reading My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. TOE is the acronym for Theory of Everything. It's about Robert Monroe of the Monroe Institute in Virginia. He began his journey in 1956 to learn more about the consciousness and out-of-body experience. At first, he had out-of-body experiences and then discovered sound can induce certain states of consciousness, which led to the opening of the Institute and patented sound technology called HemiSync. I'm going to talk about sound in just a minute, but I wanted to also share something about sleep states. I found the following on the Astral Travel Club website. According to the studies in brainwave technology, there are 6 stages that our mind has to go through before we reach astral projection. And the various stages include the gamma stage. This indicates that our mind is in the stage of high awareness and strong perception. Beta, this is when we are on the problem-solving state. Alpha, this is when the mind is slower and more relaxed. Theta, this stage is when our mind is in deep relaxation and meditation and astral travel happens. Delta, in this stage, brain activity is slow when the person is in deep sleep. And finally, Lambda Epsilon, this is the level of multidimensional awareness and mystical consciousness. When we combine these brainwave frequencies, we can attain astral projection. Beats and pulses, audio recordings are now available to help with this. And so I'm going to go back to the sounds and audio audios that are associated with HemiSync. And it includes binaural beats. And binaural beats, 2 frequencies are created separately, one for each ear. And obviously you're wearing headphones for this. When this happens, the mind created a third tone, which is the different of the 2. The frequency of the third tone cannot be heard by us. Studies have shown that when the alpha frequency and theta frequency is combined, the resulting tone eases the mind into achieving astral projection. Minoral beats. Minoral beats are 2 tones of the same intensity and at the same time pulsing at specific patterns. This resulted in the sound that is very clear and the mind finds the rhythm very comfortable to accept. Isochronic tones. This is perhaps the most effective type of tone for the mind when preparing for astral projection. This technology uses tones of equal intensity, but at a much faster pulse speed. It is said that the rhythm synchronizes well with the brain. Robert Monroe, who is on the other side of life, believed in 7-step practice done twice a day for at least 30 minutes. First, one must totally relax their body, both physically and emotionally. While in meditation, focus on your breathing and begin a relaxation technique, starting with your toes and moving to the top of your head. Enter a state of hypnagogic state of consciousness. It's just between waking and sleeping. Deep in the state of observing what you see through closed eyes in a darkened room. Before exiting your body, you will feel intense vibrations and or electrical sensations. One may also hear like a static electricity, a roar of sorts, and or see a circle of lights. I find Robert Monroe, a physicist, very interesting and a bit amusing because in a sense he's a left brainer telling right brainers how to astral travel. I have not tried his techniques, but I might one day. One thing that is for definite for sure is you have to have a meditation practice. And so when my daughter and I started intuition development classes eons ago, when she was 10 or 11 years old, the teacher we went to allowed us to join her class after it had closed. And I didn't realize we were supposed to doing a daily meditation. So in between classes, during a sleep state one night, I was awakened by spirits all around my head. Totally freaked me out. And so what do? You call Archangel Michael. And I don't know why I called him, but I did. And one of his wings covered my entire body. And all the spirits fell away. I told the teacher this when we got back to class, and she said, no, you have to do a daily meditation, or things will start happening in your sleep state. So start your own meditation practice. Pick a spot and take a picture of it before you start. Lay in the same spot, same time daily for weeks. And maybe you can only keep your brain silent for 5 minutes the first day. It's okay, because you'll be able to continue to gain as you practice it through the weeks. After 8 weeks, take another picture, see if there are orbs in the picture. Meditation will grow your gifts. In the instance of the orange car, I traveled backward, also known as retrocognition. The others were always precognition. I want to add here that if you're already having experiences, start working with your guides on what you wish to see and in what time frame. Some quotes by Monroe, and I don't know how, but always know and remember that you are more than your physical body. I don't know how I ended up with that in the beginning of my talk, and then I found this later. Always know and remember that you are more than your physical body. Exercise your human mind as full as possible, knowing it is only an exercise. And on his website, human consciousness is evolving, awakening to the discovery of self. All of us are participants in the evolution of consciousness, the next great leap for humanity. We perceive ourselves to be more than just our physical bodies. We are connected to the universe through non-physical dimensions and a holographic matrix of timeless information. Life itself is not something physical, and death something spiritual. For us, life's experiences have taken on a new significance. We marvel at the wonder of an emerging perception of reality that has been here waiting for us to realize all along. Very profound to me. And in closing, we are all one, and astral travel opens it up. So give it a try, and then try again. Don't give up. It's worth it. Hey, I know. Let's meet up in the house of baseball. We might be able to find out if the New York Yankees will ever win a pennant again. Meet you there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Lori. I love it when we clap when the dog starts barking. That's how she claps. Thank you so much. And if I may add just a little something personal, I have trouble meditating because of all the noise, as I call it. What I've started to do is I went into Walmart and bought in the gun section, in the muffle the ears. It's amazing once you cut out all the little noise, how much further you can go with astral projection and your meditation. So give it a try. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Over on the corner where Darlene wave.
Hello.
That is what we are calling our prosperity ball. We're asking if you have the ability to donate and make an offering. We'd appreciate it very much. At the end of the service, please feel free to drop as many $100 bills in there as you'd like. Ones and fives are fine also. For those who are watching online, we do have a donate button on our webpage, which we'll talk about in just a second. All the money goes to helping restore our old buildings. Most of them are coming up on 100 years old, if they're not 100 already. So we've got to put some money into our buildings so we can be here another 126 years. Okay, announcements. Next Wednesday, our message bearer for our Wednesday evening message service will be Lori Carter. This service is a demonstration of spirit communication from 7 to 9 p.m. here at the Andrew Jackson Davis Hall. Next Sunday, Lyceum is from 9:30 till about 10:10 here also, and the teacher will be myself. And next Sunday, our Sunday service starts at 10:30, and our lecturer will be Inez Bracey. We have one workshop today we'd like to announce. It's called Psychic Jumpstart, today from 2 to 4 here in this building. It is going to be presented by Lori Carter. Today, Lori Carter's day. Learn about the C's: clairvoyance, clairsentient, clairaudience, claircognizance. I say these wrong. I apologize. Claircognizance. Claircognizance. Thank you.
And it could be wrong.
No, I could be wrong. I might be. I don't know. So, develop your gifts. We have them all. We all have these gifts. We need to develop them. Be prepared to meet your guides. Work with your gifts, and bring a small personal item for the class exercise. Today from 2 to 4, right here in the A.J. Davis building. That is all the workshops for today. If you'd like to participate in absentee healing, back on the side is where the 3 candles are, is our book for absentee healing. Please print the first name and the first initial, the last name of someone in need of healing. The book is located right over here. Once a week, all those names go out to the healers in the camp, and collectively we do pray for the healing to happen. For more information about the events here at Cassadaga, please go to cassadaga.org. You can participate in all our services in person, virtually in YouTube, and now Facebook. We're coming along, which takes us a little time, but we'll get there. We'll get there. You can also watch past and present services on both. If you'd like to make a donation online, like I've said, please go to the website and hit the donate button. It accepts debit cards, credit cards, PayPal's accounts, and if you'd like a recurring donation, put $5 in to hit your account every month. Then you don't have to worry about it. At this time, we're going to say goodbye to our online virtual participants. We want to thank you for participating on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much for being part of this.